All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Tonight we're gonna have some fun, or maybe it's this morning, depending on when you're tuning in. Anyway, we're gonna be playing with WordPress and Photoshop. We're gonna make a parallax header image banner thing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I mean. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna use an app called Local. And what Local is, it's a way to build WordPress websites on your computer. So even if you don't have a host, if you're not using something like GoDaddy or Bluehost or Flywheel or wherever you're hosting your websites, you can build them here locally. So let's see. Let's play with one that I was playing around with earlier today. I'll go ahead and start the site. And let's go ahead and open this up real quick. Just to show you a little bit about what's possible and what we're going to be doing. Here, I'll open a couple sites here. So what we're going for is the parallax animation, and we want it to respond with the mouse. So as we kind of move left and right, you can see here in this example that this image, there's actually a couple images stacked. There's this black, it's actually a PNG file with the X knocked out of it. And then there's a subtle white cloned image just behind it that responds to the mouse, okay? And then here's another example of one that I've done. The exact same principle here. We've got this elk here on its own layer, and then if you can kind of see as I move around, there's this like haze in front of it too. So there's a few different layers here. If we look at the top, we've got some haze up top, and then we've got the water down below is in a few different layers as well. So these are all smashed together, and they're moving at different speeds in relation to the mouse. So I'm going to show you tonight how to do that. There are a lot of ways to achieve this. I'm just going to show you one of the ways that I use, and we can take it from there. So that's the goal for tonight. We're going to have some fun with this, and I'm going to get started by jumping into Local. All right, so what we're going to do, I do have a course that goes much more in depth with how to use Local. It's a WordPress course, and you can access that in the vault. There's a link below if you want to actually go through this at a much slower pace. But we're going to just get something fired up real quick here. So I've got Local running. I'm going to make a new site. Let's just call this Behance Stram. Stream. All right, I'm going to come down here to Advanced Options. Behance Stream, that looks good. I'm going to use a blueprint. So blueprint is just, it's something that I've taken the time to set up before. It's kind of like a good cooking show where they pre-bake the cake. I've pre-baked a blueprint. So anytime I fire up a new site, it's going to go through all the settings that I like to have set up. It's going to install the theme that I use. I use the Salient WordPress theme, and I'll go ahead and create site from blueprint. And it's going to spool up the site real quick here. It's going to clone over all the files and everything I need. So while it's doing that, let me just show you something else too. So if I jump over to my browser, type in Salient WordPress theme, I just want to show you what I'm using as my base for most of the websites that I make. Scroll down here. So on Envato Market, you can buy this Salient theme. I'll click Live Preview, and you can go through and you can see all the different pre-built templates that are available with this theme, all the different elements. It's a really nice theme. So click through here if you guys want to check it out and learn more, but this is what I'll be using as the base for my WordPress theme. It's called Salient. All right. So let's go ahead and jump back over into Local. It's still extracting those files. We're getting close here. So while we're doing that, if you guys are watching live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. All right, getting super close here. Close these windows. guess I could have done this beforehand, but I wanted you to see how I got started here. So, all right, well, this is working. Let's go ahead and get started with the graphic part of this. Okay, well, as I say that, it's pretty much done. So in local, I've got my site up here started. So local is running in the background so I can use my website. And then I click here to open site or admin. So if I'll click on open site, it opens up this browser window. And you can see that I have a fully functioning WordPress site now. Maybe. My computer's a little slow tonight. Which is crazy because I just restarted it too. What the heck? Oh, you know what it is? It's still configuring files in the background. All right, let's move on so we can get this going here. So what I want to do, let's grab a cool image that we can use and we can kind of dice up. So I'm going to go to Adobe Stock as one option, and then I want to go to Envato Elements. I really like both of these libraries. Actually, another good one you could probably check out is Pexels. It's a great free library. If you go to pexels.com, I like that as well. But let's jump over here. I'm gonna search for. Let's see if we can find one in the free version. Let's just look and see. I'll type in Galaxy. Okay, so here's some options. Let's see. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. Let's just check Envato Elements real quick. Whoops. Wrong window. All right, so let's see what we got here. Anything good? Oh, this could actually be really cool using this one. I'm gonna do this one, I think. Although we're definitely out of season, coming into the summer season here, so I don't know if I want to do cold winter stuff. We'll play with it. We'll see what happens. So I'm in Envato Elements. I'm just going to add it to a project and download real quick. I have a discount code for you guys if you want to check it out. I didn't paste the link below, but I'll post it after the replay. So if you guys want to check out Envato Elements, I really like it because you can download anything you want, as much as you want. And it makes it really easy to jump in and get started with projects. All right, so I'm back here to this new site. I just clicked up here. This is now being powered by local, okay? So I've got the site running, and this is just a template, like a boilerplate that would just fire it up real quick so I have a website to work with. So I'm gonna jump into the dashboard of this site. Log in real quick. All right, it's thinking about it here. All right, so I'm in the dashboard of the website now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at this. All right, so I'm using the Salient WordPress theme, which if I go to Appearance, down to Themes, you'll see that I've got a child theme installed and I've got the main parent theme installed. If this is way over your head, I do have a course, like I said, in the vault. There's a link below. You can check it out and get up to speed on how to do this. But this salient child theme is my current active theme. And then I have the primary theme here as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump right into, let's see, let's go right into the pages here. And I've got a couple pages in here. I've got the about page, the home page, and a privacy policy. So this is the front page. I'm going to edit this page. And this is where we're going to add our parallax header thing that we're playing around with tonight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to jump into Photoshop. I'm going to make a new document. And I'm going to make this a web document. And I'm going to make it web large. This is what I'm going to start with for this size. So it's 1920 by 1080 and it's 72 DPI or pixels per inch, so PPI, whatever. Color mode is RGB. I'll go ahead and click create. So again, I'm in Photoshop now. Computer's chugging tonight. All right, so here's my artboard. This is what we're going to use to build this parallax scene. So what I'm going to do is come back to my downloads. That's not my downloads, but this is what we're building, okay? So if you're just tuning in, this is what we're going for. We're going for this parallax multi-layered scene effect here, okay? So I'll go ahead and minimize that. Photoshop, downloads. Did it not download? Must not have downloaded. So let me jump back into Envato Elements. Try this again. I'm not sure what I did. Add and download. There it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this right into that new document I made in Photoshop. We'll drop it in there. Watching from Malaysia, what's up? I see NRL. Is it Nasuha? I hope I said your name right. Thanks for tuning in. I see you. I see you. All right, so we drop this image in here on this new canvas. We're going to scale it up, maybe. Things are looking a little glitchy tonight with the computer. Very, very glitchy. Let me open up my system preferences and see if I can, or my, here, let me do some things real quick. System. I'm just going to close a couple programs with the activity monitor. Hey, if you're tuning in, say hello in the chat. Let me know what you're up to. Feel free to post your portfolio links if you want us to check them out. All right. Fixing a couple things real quick. We'll jump back so you can see my screen. There, that seemed to fix it. All right, cool. All right, so what we're doing, we are gonna make this parallax image now. I'm just gonna kind of get this into place here. Scale it up. All right, so now what we got to do is break this into multiple layers. So there's a few ways to go about this. Typically what I do if I'm trying to clone something, I just hit Command J on my keyboard. Oh, let me turn on an app so you can see my shortcuts here. All right, so I'm gonna hit Command J just to duplicate this, just to jump cut it up onto another layer here. Let's try that one more time. There we go. So now I know that if anything happens or I screw anything up, I can come back to this copy that I have down below it. But what we're gonna do is I wanna start breaking this apart into layers. So this is gonna be a really difficult image to work with. I maybe could have chose something a little bit easier, but let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes. So this is a smart object. I'm going to right click on this, on the actual name, not the thumbnail, and we are going to rasterize this. It's just going to flatten it, basically, break it apart from being a smart object, which now in the properties window gives me the options down here to remove the background or select the subject. I have no idea what this is going to do. It's probably not going to work very well because this image has a lot going on, but let's just select subject and see what it does. Yeah, there's no prominent image, so I'm gonna have to do all this by hand. So a few ways we can work. I'm going to try the let's try the quick selection tool and see if we get lucky. Okay, so what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna have the sky as one layer. We'll have this foreground, we'll have like some snow here in the front, we'll have this group of trees, and then this other group of trees. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, at least 4 layers here. All right, so let's just go ahead and drag around, get a really rough selection, and just see if it gets this close. I might need to do some extra selecting here. I don't want to take too much time though. I want this to go kind of fast and just show you the basics of this here. This is really difficult to see. I might want to do a different image, but we're gonna fight through it here and just kind of see how we do. What's up, Cherry Red? I see you on Behance. Thanks for tuning in. While this thinks about it, for those of you who are brand new to the stream, my name's Derek. I'm a creative director and a web developer, graphic designer, and tonight we are going to be playing with. I closed the window. We're making parallax images for websites. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and break this apart. So what I'm going to do, maybe should have done this a little differently. I'm just going to mask this right here. So I've got a selection. I'm going to click down here on the little square. You can't see it because my head's in the way. All right, so down here, I'm going to click on this little square with a circle in it, and it's going to apply a mask to this layer. Okay, so you can see this is a very terrible selection, but we're going to go with it. We're just going to leave it alone for this because I know it's going to take a lot of work to get the right selection, but I'm not worried about that right now. We're going to clone this layer again, right click, we're going to rasterize it. I'll turn this front layer off. Let's turn this back on. Now I just want to select these trees over here, okay? So I'll get my what is this called? The quick selection tool. Okay, I'm going to just roughly grab these trees over here. And I'm not super worried about this being perfect right now. Clearly. All right, so there's a selection. I've got a layer here. I'll come down and click on the layer mask, and now I've got this chunk. So I've got this chunk, and I've got this chunk. All right, now let's clone this one more time, and now I just want the stars in the background. So there's a few things I could do. One is I could bring in a layer in the background that's just the stars that look similar, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and select these and get it close. I could also, let's just see, this might not work how I want it to, but I'm using the lasso tool, the letter L, and I'm making a very, very, very rough selection around all of these, basically the entire image, okay? And then, let's see, Command Shift Delete, I don't even know. Oh, shoot, it's a smart object. Oh, okay, right click over here, got to rasterize it so we can do stuff to it. There we go. What I'm trying to do is go to Edit, down to Fill, and I want to do a content-aware fill. This is probably going to break. This probably won't work, but we're going to try it. We're just going to see. I'm hoping it'll fill in all of this and mash it together and make it look like stars and stuff. All right. Just thinking about it. Oh, that actually worked pretty great. All right. What does this say? Content aware fill. Now you can choose the area Photoshop is using to fill a selection. Oh yeah, this is awesome. Go to edit, content aware fill. Let's try it out. Okay, got it. Boom. I'm going to deselect this, Command D to deselect. And now I've got all this stuff in here, but now you can see it's on its own layer. Okay, we're breaking apart the image here. Undo, undo. All right, so we've got the background. We've got one set of trees and another set of trees. Okay, so now what we need is the foreground. We need this snow, whatever at the bottom. So let's clone this again. Let's rasterize this layer. Okay, so now we're just looking for the snow here. So, doink. Okay, this was it's too much. Let's undo that. Quick selection tool. I'm going to mask that. All right. That's maybe going to cause problems. Let's see. Oh, okay. So now we've got our background layer here. I'm going to rename these. So we got background. We've got the snow. Let's bring this up in front. Okay. We've got some issues we got to fix here. Left trees. Actually, we're going to call it trees left. Trees right. Okay, so down here on these trees, you can see how the background is kind of peeking through. So I'm going to grab my mask, hit the letter B to get my brush tool, scale it up a little bit. And let's see, I want to paint with black hides, white reveals. So I've got white as my foreground. I'm painting with the brush tool with a nice soft brush on the mask layer. And now as I paint, I'm actually just showing this image, bringing it back. Bring it back. Cool. Because there shouldn't be stars down here. Right? All right, that looks pretty good. Except... There we go. All right, so now I got to work on these trees. Cool. All right, I think we're in good shape to use this now. So what we want to do, we're building a parallax image. We're using WordPress. We're using the Salient WordPress theme. And I've got a million windows here, so I can't tell what I'm doing. But basically, yeah, all right. So we're going to stack all these layers on top of each other. So we want them to export at the exact same size. So I guess let's just finish what we were doing here in Photoshop, and then I can keep explaining. So we have the trees right, trees left, the snow, and the background. So I want to export all these layers, and there's a lot of different ways to do this. Depending on what you're doing, we want these to come out as a PNG. That's pretty much the only way it's going to work. If you do a JPEG, for example, if I export this as a JPEG, all the white background is going to come with it because JPEGs don't support transparency. And in fact, now that I see this, I got to clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to get my brush tool. I'm going to paint with black to kind of clean this up a little bit here. I could clean this up a bunch too if I wanted to. That's better. That's more better. All right, we're not going to spend a lot of time here. I just want you guys to get the technique down. I don't want to spend forever making a selection. So we want to export these trees. So I'm going to right click and go quick export as PNG. Because there's only 4 layers, I'm just going to do it one at a time so we kind of control what it's doing. But there are ways to export everything with one button click. I can show you that, but let's get back to that here in a minute. I'm going to go to my desktop. I'll make a new folder and I'll call it Parallax header or something. Save that. Now we want to do our next layer. Let's take a look at this and make sure it looks good. Not bad. Okay, so I'm just making sure I have the stacking order right. All right, I'm going to right click on this. We're going to export as a PNG. Watching from Arizona. What's up, Andrea? What part of Arizona? I've got family down in Sun City. And a good friend of mine, actually Paul Gowan, on Moto Mondays. He's down there. He's down in Phoenix. All right, trees left, trees right. Save it. We got some snow. Let's export the snow. Actually, let's clean this up a little bit. That's kind of, let's see. This is going to want to be in front, I think. So I want to actually clone this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete the mask. We'll apply it. So now it's literally just this image, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get my stamp tool, clone stamp. I'm going to actually, I want to see if the content aware fill does anything good with this. Let's just see what happens. Hey, not bad. I'll roll with it. Actually, shoot. It's fine. I was going to clone it, so that way if I screwed it up, it's okay. It's whatever. It's going to work just fine for the purpose of what we're doing right now. Okay, good, good, good. Snow, right click. Export as PNG. And then finally, our background. What's up, Vaishnavi? I hope I said your name right. I see you on Behance. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we've got the background set. Let's right click. Let's export this as, because this doesn't have any transparency, I can make this a JPEG and really compress it down because we are building for the web. So we want to make sure that our images aren't too big. So I'm gonna click export as, and it should, did I click the wrong one? I wasn't paying attention. There we go. All right, so it opens up this window and we can dial in our settings and get it just right. So if I leave this at 100%, I can see over here that this is a 2.2 megabyte file, which is huge for a website. So we're gonna crunch the heck out of this. We're gonna grab this quality slider and just drag it down to like, because it's just a background and it doesn't even need to be, because of the type of image it is, it doesn't need to look good. It's just gonna be hiding in the background. Wow, and that's still 473 kilobytes. Let's crunch it down even more. I want to get this under like 300 kilobytes. 325. Let's go to like 15. Okay. I'm just going to save it there for now. Desktop. We'll call it background. We're going to save. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to a fun website called tinypng.com. They have a plugin for Photoshop, but I don't have that plugin. So what I do is I go to the website tinypng.com, and I go back and I grab those images that we just exported. I'm gonna grab all of them. I'm gonna throw them over here. So you can see we're going to go from 792 kilobytes down to 145. See how much that compressed that? That's awesome. We want this to be as fast loading as possible. It's on our homepage. So, wow, we just saved 78%. Look at that. All right. So we went from this size down to this size. We are going to download all of these. Okay. Parallax header. Tinyfied. Let's open up that zipped folder so we can see all the images. All right, so we got our background. We got, which has some weird stuff going on up here I could probably fix, but for now it's fine. Cool. Oh, shoot. I did the... Okay. This will be a good learning experience. So, dang it. All right, so what you're going to notice, see the size of this JPEG? See how it's a big image? We want all of these images to be the exact same size, so when they stack on top of each other, they line up correctly. I didn't do that. So these 3 images need exported again. See how they're only as big as the image? So let's fix that. I'm going to delete these. Actually, I'm going to delete both of those. I got to do the exports all over again. It's all right, though. So instead of just exporting as a PNG from here, save it like this, and let's go to File. Let's find some different music. Oof. All right, export as PNG. And I think I also need to... One more time. Sorry, guys. Export. Export as. This isn't going to do what I want either. We're so close. This music is crazy. This music is actually by Harris Heller off Spotify. It's a streaming friendly music playlist. So if you enjoy it, you can check it out. Harris Heller. Thanks for the tunes. Export. Save for web. And then all right, so one more thing I got to figure out. It's been a minute. Why? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so I'm using Artboards in Photoshop, which you don't have to do, but because I am in the window down to the properties panel, this is where you'd find it. Mine's right over here. You can see the Artboard background color is set to white. This is going to screw us up. So I want to change this to transparent. There we go. Okay, so now when I export this, we'll go to File. And actually, I'm going to do this faster this time around. Let's turn all these layers on. And I'm going to go to File. Export. And we're going to come down here to Layers to Files. So it's going to do everything at one point or at one time instead of having to do it like one at a time, okay? We go Layers to Files. Let's choose a destination. Or a desktop. And Parallax header, we'll just stash it in there and see what happens. File type, PNG, transparency, everything else looks good. Prefix, let's just call this Behance Parallax. All right, we're gonna run it. And now it's gonna take every one of these layers that are turned on and it's gonna spit them out as a separate file. All right, let's see what it did. Let's see what it did. So it spit out, check this out. This background here, this parallax is 4.6 megabytes. All right. Oh, I know. Thank you. All right. But the original background that I did as a JPEG is significantly smaller. It's 326 kilobytes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this background as a PNG. I don't need this huge file because I have the JPEG. All right, but now these other guys, let's take a look at this real quick. All right, perfect. You can see the whole image, all of these transparent pixels came with it. So I can stack these and they're gonna line up just how I want them to, all right? So this image is huge though. It's 4.2 megs, 1.5 megs. All right, so we gotta tinify these because we don't wanna try and use these on the web just like that. So we'll reload the page. We will throw these right up in here. Hopefully these compress down quite a bit. So they're still pretty big, a lot bigger than I want them to be. So I'm going to download them and I'm going to do it again just to try and crunch any extra pixels out of here that I can. So you couldn't see because my camera's in the way, but it downloaded to my stacks. Right here, tinified. I opened it. So now I've got all of these images in here. Okay, you can see their sizes. They're significantly smaller, but I want them to be even smaller. So let's see if we can get just a few more reload this actually. Whoops, wrong. There we go. All right, we didn't save that much, but you know what? It's still a little bit smaller. So now we can come back, go to my desktop, Parallax header, and we'll throw them in here so we know which version is the one to use. We'll open it up. All right, so these are the images we're going to use, and they look great. So now what we can do, let's jump back to that website that we spooled up real quick. We're at the home page, and I'm using Salient, the WordPress theme, to be able to do this. So I actually talk a lot about this and show you the exact steps in my WordPress course, which you can access in the vault. The link is below. I think it might also be on Skillshare. I don't remember, to be honest. It's also on Udemy. Anyway, so what we're going to do, I'm going to click up here on Backend Editor. So by default, you wouldn't see this on WordPress. This functionality is because of the Salient WordPress theme. All right. And now I'm going to add an element. I'll add a row. Got it. And I'm going to click right up here on this pencil tool. I want a full width content. Want it to be a full height row. So I want it to take over the entire screen. Okay. And then we are going to go to text color. There's not gonna be any text on this right now, so I don't care about this, but I could make it light text to show up on top. But we're here. We're gonna click on this background tab. And down here, we're gonna click on mouse-based parallax scene. Click on that. All right, now what we want to do is we want to use all those layers that we just did. So there's a lot of little settings here we can dial in to get it just right, but we're going to start with this. We can control the overall strength, but I'm going to leave it as default. So layer 1 is going to be my base layer. All right, so it's going to be the background. So let's click Add Image. We're going to select Files. We're going to go to Desktop, where that parallax header image is, tinified, and we want the background. Throw that in there. And then we're going to click Set Image. All right, we're going to scroll down a little bit. We'll click on Layer 2. We'll click Add Image. This is going to be, I don't know which one this is going to be, so we might have to play with this a little bit. But I think it's going to be this one. Maybe. I don't know. We can change it if it's wrong. Set the image. I'm going to scroll down, add layer 3. This music equally makes me happy and also makes me anxious. I don't know what to do with myself. All right, this is layer 3. I think it's going to be this one. We're going to try it. Scroll down. We're going to go to scene layer 4, upload files, select files, and this should be the snow layer at the front of all this, I think. About to find out. We're going to click Set Image. So we're working inside of this little box here. So before I click Update on the right, I want to click Save Changes down here first. Okay. Now I'm going to click Preview Changes. And if I did this right, fingers crossed. Look at that, guys. We did it. So cool. Yes. All right, now what I want to do is make this transparent up top here. So I'm going to come back and we're going to go down to the bottom of this page and I'm going to turn on. Oh, I might have it turned off in the settings. That's all right. I don't think I want to get into that right now, but I'm going to click update to actually save the changes we did on this page. This is the home page. Yeah, I'll get into it real quick. So I'm going to come over here to the salient options. And we're going to go to, come on, it's thinking about it. It might be general settings. I can't remember. Or maybe it's under header. Transparent header effect. And we're going to turn that on. Save changes. We're going to go back to our website. I'm going to click edit page. This is the home page. Then we're going to scroll down and we are going to force, scrolly. Force transparency on navigation. Let's turn that on. Let's update. All right, we're going to click view page. Boom. Now navigation sits on top of this parallax image. That is so cool. I love it. So cool. We could obviously, clean the selections up a little bit, do some things with it, whatever, but I think that's so cool. I think that's awesome. I love the mouse-based parallax scenes. So if you're using like Elementor, you can do it in that too. It's a WordPress builder. There's a lot of different web builders now that do this. But that's how I do it. That's how I make these cool little parallax scenes in a web browser. So much fun. So much fun. All right. That's pretty much it for this stream. That's all I wanted to show you. So that's how I make my parallax animations and how I use Photoshop to cut them out and export it. So if you got lost along the way, there's a lot of steps skipped in the WordPress side of that. I get it. If you want to learn more about that, there's links below. You can check out the graphic design vault. If you go to derekmitchell.com, that's my website. You can join and check out all of the courses that I've ever created. And the one that you want to join if you want to learn more about this is my web design with WordPress course. And I show you exactly how I do that. So I think that's it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you have an awesome day or night wherever you're streaming from. And hopefully we will see you guys soon. All right, guys, thanks for watching today. Hope you learned a lot of valuable information, and I appreciate you sticking around to the very end. But before you go, just a couple things I want to remind you. The first is, if you haven't already, feel free to like this video if you can, depending on where you're watching from. Give it a thumbs up or subscribe or tap the bell or give it a follow if you can. And also maybe even just copy the link up in the browser and share it with a friend or post it to your Facebook page. I'd really appreciate that. But again, just want to say thanks for sticking around, and I'd love to continue going live as much as possible and helping you guys out. So the best way that I can help you is by you commenting on the videos below. I read those comments. I engage with them as soon as I can, if I can, when I see them. So if it's live, I'll try and answer you right away. If this is a replay, you can still comment on the video, and I go back and I read those. So I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to help you out, and hopefully we will see you in the next live. And to be sure you don't miss it, like this video and subscribe and follow and do the things. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.